This is 5 Minute Feng Shui, Episode 3, The 5 Wealth Corners. Welcome to the 5 Minute Feng Shui podcast, where each week I talk about how to move energy and make money. You'll learn how to create a prosperous home and abundant life using classical Chinese Feng Shui. I'm your host, Katie Weber, publisher of the Red Lotus Letter, Feng Shui Easy for Wealth. Each week, I'll cover Feng Shui topics that can help improve your life, share inspiring stories, and I always end with 3 easy-to-implement Feng Shui tips that you can put to work right away and usually in about 5 minutes. Now let's get started on the 5 minutes that can change your life. Hi, it's Katie, and I'm here today talking to you about the 5 critical wealth corners. You know, there's a lot of myths and false information about Feng Shui. In fact, one of the biggest myths about Feng Shui is that there is only one wealth corner. Well, I'm here to tell you that there are actually 5 wealth corners. Now, one of the things that you hear most about in Feng Shui when it comes to the wealth corner is that it's always the southeast corner. Now, I practice classical Chinese Feng Shui, and that means that I actually follow the real directions. So I don't arbitrarily assign the southeast corner to the back left-hand corner of your house as you stand at the front door. That's a different type of Feng Shui. The type of Feng Shui that I practice always orients your door based on the actual compass direction. Because if you open your front door and you look out the door and the sun is setting, you know that your door is west. So that's going to put the southeast corner in a different location in your house than this other type of Feng Shui that says it's always in your back left-hand corner. Now, when we talk about wealth and we talk about the wealth corner, one of the things that's really important to understand is that it's about assets. This is the corner that relates to income. And many people think that when we're talking about money in Feng Shui, that we're talking about actual earned money, like salary. So these other wealth corners that you could be paying attention to and not paying attention to could be costing you some cash. So let's talk about what those corners are. Because when each one of those corners is enhanced and activated, that means that you have compounding Feng Shui, and that benefits everybody in a variety of ways. And this is something that we want to cover, is that compounding Feng Shui is the type of Feng Shui that I always tell my wealthy clients that everybody likes, right? We like interest to compound. We like our Feng Shui to compound too, right? Because we want energy to build and build and build, because we want our lives to get better, better, and better. So for instance, there's different kinds of abundance and wealth. For instance, there's different kinds of money. Just think about that. There's generating money, like the type that you get from a job or a salary. There is accumulated money, which is the kind that you have in banks or investments or stocks and bonds. And then, of course, there is the depleting money, which is the type of money that we associate with bills. It's really short-sighted to only apply your effort and enhancements to the southeast wealth corner that applies to investments and to savings. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't pay attention to that corner. You absolutely should. I'm a big believer in investing. I talk a lot about stocks in my annual forecast. I talk a lot about investing and building wealth and increasing your wealth. But what I find is that thorough Feng Shui really takes into account energizing all of the corners that relate to all of the various ways that you earn money, like through associates or benefactors, or from your career or your business, from even good relationships with each other. You know, maybe you have a great aunt who favors you, and she might just leave you money in her will. That's also good money. That's money that we want to pay attention to. It's not money that you earned in terms of you picked a good stock or that you worked at a job at 9 to 5 from, but it's still, it relates to these good returns on your energy. And we really want to improve that so that money comes to you in a variety of ways. It comes to you from different paths. and it all goes into the same pot. We don't necessarily have to be single-minded about money, or in Feng Shui patois, it's wealth. Everybody talks about wealth, but really, we're talking about money. So there's other wealth influencing considerations besides these, like the front door area. But when I go into a feng shui consultation or work with a client, I still look at these top 5 sectors because I want to make sure that we have a really good picture of the monetary wealth and well-being and health of the whole household. So let's talk about those 5 money sectors and what they mean. So the first and foremost is we'll start with the Southeast actual wealth sector. This is the sector associated with accumulating wealth. And rather than money that you earn through commissions, royalties, salary, and that kind of thing. So for instance, if you have a bedroom, a dining room, a front door, a bedroom or office in the Southeast, count yourself lucky. Make sure that you activate it. And I'm going to talk with you about how to do that in your 3 tips here at the end of the podcast. So problems in this sector, though, can create problems with accumulating money. So, for instance, I had a client once and I said, "Oh, how long have you had?" We just walked up to the front door and I said, "How long have you had money problems?" And she said, "I never have money problems. We have plenty of money coming in." I said, "It's not the money coming in I'm worried about, it's the money going out." So, accumulation. We want to be thinking about accumulating money, right? Because that's the money that we have to fall back on in case of emergency. So I don't have to go ask parents or take out loans or loans on credit cards or go in with your hat in your hand to talk to somebody at the bank. That's a no fun at all. Now, afflictions to the southeast corner might be like a bathroom, a fireplace, a laundry room, or even a garage. When you have like a kitchen located there or a fireplace, then it can mean that you literally burn through money and you're just not able to get any traction on accumulating money. So I want you to look at the southeast corner of your house and just use a compass, stand in the front door and use a compass and determine what is the southeast corner of your house, and find that. Just draw like an imaginary line, and if that falls in your bathroom, well, then if you look at your savings account or look at your investments and see how they're doing. If you see that they're not as good as you'd like, well, it could be that's the reason why. But don't you worry, I'm going to give you a great tip that'll help you with that. Now, the second most, probably I think the most important sector, but the one least regarded, the one that Feng Shui consultants don't really talk about, but it's one that when you hear wealth, this is the one you're thinking about. This is the North career sector. This is the money and income generating sector. That means money coming in, not accumulating, but generating. And this is often overlooked when it comes to wealth and Feng Shui. Problems in this area create problems at work or at business. Maybe you have difficulties with stagnant income growth and business opportunities. Maybe your career comes to a standstill. If you're job hunting, you might have a hard time finding positions, or find that the next position you find, you actually earn less. So when we're thinking about wealth, most of the time what people are thinking about is money coming in. They're not thinking about the wealth sector, the accumulating. They're thinking about generating. So really what we want to do is focus on those things that are going to create money opportunities for us. So that means like new business, new clients, a promotion, a raise at work, or maybe even a new job offer that gives you more income. That's the kind of money that we really want to focus on, and I really want you to pay close attention to. Again, I'm going to give you a tip about that. Now, if you've got a bathroom or a fireplace or a laundry room, even big trees in the north corner of your house can create problems with accumulating wealth. So wherever the north corner of your home is, we really want to pay attention to what's going on there. Now, if you've got a problem in this corner, then you're going to want to activate the corner of your living room, the north corner of your living room. So make sure that in the north corner of your home or the north corner of your living room, you don't have a whole bunch of plants there, or like a big vase or something like any kind of earth objects. So anything that's earthen-like, or plants, because why? When we want to water a plant, or when we want a plant to grow, we water it. So plants take up water, and if you've got plants in the north corner of your home or your living room, then they're sucking up your ability to earn more, and we really want to stop that. And in fact, what you could do is to add some metal in the north corner of your home. This could be like a pretty bowl, a silver bowl, or some kind of brass accent, something like that. That would be a fantastic thing to add there. I'm also going to be talking about how to activate this area as well at the end. Now, a secondary wealth location is the northwest. Now, this is considered the helpful people location, but it's also the location of the man of the house. So if you're married, if you're a single woman listening to this, it's still an important area to activate. I really want you to pay attention to the northwest corner, because we all need helpful people. We need benefactors. We need people who come to our aid. This is also called the heaven sector, or the patriarch sector. And we want to activate that because it brings us, I call it the networking corner, right? Many times, if you're looking for a job, it's really your network that's going to help you find that job. So we want to make sure that this corner is protected, because this is the corner of people who can bring us opportunities and who help us network when we need them. It is what I call the ultimate yang sector. It's the heaven sector, and it is most often, if you have couples, many times it's the man who makes the most money. Not always, but many times it's the breadwinner sector. So we really want to pay very close attention to it and protect it, because if we don't protect it, then the breadwinner could lose his job, or he could fall ill, have an accident, something like that. So we always want to make sure that this corner is protected and looked after. When the northwest corner is afflicted, especially with a fireplace or a kitchen, it's called fire in heaven because it's a heaven location. The man can often suffer a loss, like loss of jobs, or even loss of his health that enables him to go to the job. So it's really important that we make sure that northwest corner is protected. When it's afflicted, you find that the going is tough, long and alone. People aren't coming to your aid. Bosses might be belligerent. You find that help is hard to find, and maybe you can't always get the attention of superiors or people in a position to help you move up. So this is why you really want to activate this corner. So if you have a kitchen located here or a fireplace, I really recommend that you try to avoid using it. I know that sounds crazy. I actually had a northwest fireplace and we never ever used it. Electric stove, if you could replace your gas stove with an electric stove, that would be better, especially if you've had any kind of loss for the man. So if a man has lost his job or he's had misfortune like accidents or health complaints, very, very important. Bathrooms are another area where it can drain that heavenly energy that brings you helpful people and protects the breadwinner. Really important that if you do have that kind of situation, that I'd love to see you do something and add something like metal in the northwest corner. So metal in the north, metal in the northwest corner, all really terrific ways to add more benefactor help and assistance. And heaven people, bringing those people that help you, right? We all need more of those. The fourth sector is the southwest sector. Now, this is the sector of women, the woman of the house. It's also the sector of marriage. And nowadays, sometimes it's the woman that makes the money. There's many times I have clients where I really have to pay closest attention to the southwest corner as it pertains to them being a breadwinner. This is the sector that is the sector that brings you that energy of love and healthy, happy relationships, and it affects the woman of the house, especially if she's a business owner, a career woman, or the breadwinner. This direction really is one of those directions that we want to pay close attention to because it relates to the relationships that we have with others. So if you've got a bathroom there or you have a kitchen there, then it's going to be a problem in terms of the woman maintaining her earning ability. So definitely want to make sure that in the southwest corner of your home or living room, if you have a problem in that southwest corner, like a garage or a laundry room, something like that, we want to add crystals there. So add something like a lamp. You could do something like, because light actually activates that corner. So in the southwest corner of your living room, add some light, add some pretty crystals or a vase, something like that. And that helps the woman accumulate more money and to attract more money. Now, the last sector of all the wealth sectors is the center. This is the center of your house. We call it the heavenly palace or heavenly heart palace. And it affects these three important areas: health, wealth, and relationships. The big three, right? This is the sector that really relates to your whole family, and anything that is in this area that can afflict the center sector is going to have an effect on everyone in the household. So, for instance, I had a client who had a house that was built like a square. The layout was a square, and in the middle was cut out, and there was a courtyard, and she planted a giant tree there. And what happened was she was never able to maintain her relationship, her marriage relationship. And in fact, that was one of the things I had noticed when Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt were married. They had a house that had an empty center sector, and where they had that empty center area, there was a big tree. Trees and plants are really wonderful feng shui, they're not good feng shui in earth corners, and the center is an earth corner, and so it's not a good idea to add plants in this area. So make sure that if anything you want to do is activate this area with lights and with crystals and red colors, and that will help build the energy that creates good, healthy relationships, good, stable money, and good health. If you've got a tree or plant in the middle of your house, be careful because it could really seriously affect your health and relationships. Okay, well, it looks like we're at about the end of this episode, and as promised, here are your 3 tips. Number 1, activate the north corner of your home or your living room for more money. If you have a bathroom or a bedroom or a kitchen that is in this corner of your house, well, then you're really not going to want to activate it. Instead, activate the north corner of your living room with something like something that's metallic, something that represents water. It could even be a picture of water, because this is a water element, or the north is related to the water element. So we want to activate that water element. Plus, metal makes water. So whether you have metal or you have a picture of water, maybe you have a water symbol like a big figurine of a fish, or some pretty seashells that you've collected, or an aquarium or a fountain. This will help to activate the income that you're looking for. All right, now, number 2, let's talk about the wealth corner. When you want to improve the wealth in your home, and that means the accumulated money, not the generated money, we just talked about that in tip number 1, but number 2 is the accumulated wealth, then that's when we want to activate with water in this area. Water as well, because it's also an area that's related to plants. And what makes plants grow? Water. So activate that corner of your home or living room with a fountain, a fish figurine, some pictures of water, You can also add pretty plants, just even a pretty orchid plant, something like that. Make sure that if you do have plants, though, in the southeast corner, that you do keep them nice and healthy and lush and full looking. But you could also use water in this corner. Lastly is protect the center sector. Avoid plants in the center of your home. Make sure that you are keeping that area protected and that it's nice and bright and lit and that it's activated with some pretty crystals or ceramic bowls. These were all are great ways to enhance the well-being of all the areas of your health of your life that wealth pertains to, which is the wealth of love, the wealth of health, and the wealth of both generating and accumulated money. All right. Well, there you have it. 5 wealth sectors. Thought there was only one, I bet. Nope, there's 5. And you've got your 3 tips that you should take you no time at all to put together. Hey, thanks for being with me today for episode number 3. I'll see you on episode number 4. Have a fantastic day. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of 5 Minute Feng Shui. If you did, please be sure to share this episode with your friends on social media, and let's change the world one home at a time. For more Feng Shui information and inspiration, sign up for my free weekly Feng Shui Easy. Just drop by redlotusletter.com to sign up, and I'll be in your inbox every Wednesday. And if you like this episode, give it a thumbs up on iTunes. Now go have a fantastic day.